back to Storytime Sunday. Is that even what it's called? I thought we would get ready together again for the day. So I'm gonna tell you about the time that I broke my nose. Have you ever broken your nose? Tell me. Have you ever broken any bone? Tell me. I wanna know. What have I broken? Well, obviously my nose, as you hear. I fractured my thumb in gymnastics. Yeah, that's about it. You know what? That's a pretty good record. I will take that because there are people who break things all the time. The time I broke my nose, back in 2014, I was in university and it was literally one of those freak accidents. Like, looking back, I'm like, oh my God, like, did that really happen? And it involves an ex-boyfriend. And before you freak out, because I know what you're all thinking, like, oh my God, your ex-boyfriend broke your nose. He really did. He really did, but not in the way you're thinking. It wasn't intentional. It was not on purpose. He did not harm me, but he did. He did technically break my nose. So let me tell you how it happened. Let me paint the picture for you, okay? This was an ex from way back when, and we lived together. And we were going to bed. Oh my God, this sounds like it's gonna be like some kinky freaking story, but it's really not. So we were going to bed, and I had gotten in bed. The light switch is like on the other side of the wall. So you basically have to like shut the light off and then walk to the bed in the pure dark because we didn't have like a side table at the time with little side lamps. We didn't have any of that. So basically, you shut the light off and you ran for it and hoped that you made it to the bed. My little princess body is already lying in bed, you know, getting all nice and cozy. And he decided to shut off the light. So he hits the light, okay? Hits the light and comes back to bed. Now, here is the wild freak accident part. I'm lying in bed, closest to the wall. He's on this side of the bed, like this, okay? And he sits down on the bed, and as he is going to lay back in bed, for some reason, I had to sit up. I don't know what it was. I have no idea. I can't remember, but I had to sit up. I can't see shit. It is pitch dark, okay? Here's me. I'm lying down. Here's him. He's sitting. We go like this. He went to lie down. I went to sit up. Boom. And all I hear is a massive like crack. And his head smashes into my nose right here, like dead on my nose. So, massive crack. That's all I hear. I can't see shit, but I know what just happened. I know, and he knows, and we both know my nose is broken. There's no way that it isn't. I immediately panic because I don't handle any of that stuff well. Broken bones or anything like that, blood, like I'll faint. So my immediate thing is, oh my God, I am going to have to look at my face where my nose is gonna be like, cricket. Like that was my biggest fear. I was like, how am I about to go into this bathroom and look at my nose? So my immediate thought is, I just covered my nose and I felt for blood. There was no blood, surprisingly. And I just covered my nose and I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So he rushes to turn on the light and I'm like this, and I won't even show him my nose because I was like, listen, like you gotta poker face this. You can't freak out. If I show you my nose and it is sideways, like poker face that shit, okay? Because I will cry. I go into the bathroom and I shut the door and I'm like, I just need a minute to be on my own and process the pain I am feeling. So I look in the mirror and lo and behold, I have some good freaking karma because when I look at my nose, it's not cricket. It is definitely a little bit misshaped and a lot of bit swollen. Like there was no denying the fact that there was definitely an injury happening there and it definitely broke. But it was not cricket. I feel like I'm saying that weird and people are gonna talk about it. I say cricket and people say it's like crooked. My biggest fear, because I have heard about nose injuries before, was that when you go to the hospital, when you have a broken nose, they will crack it back into place if it's crooked and you're awake for that. So in my head, I was like, listen, if it's crooked, we're leaving it. We're leaving it. I am not going through that. That is torture, or you're gonna knock me out and put me asleep before you do that to me. That sounds like a nightmare. So that was my biggest fear. Luckily, it was not crooked. And with broken noses, if you didn't know, there's literally nothing they can do for the healing process. Like, it's not like when you break your arm and you can put a cast on. It's your nose. Like, all they can do is like kind of like that little tape thing, but there's not much to it. And you just gotta let it heal. I was like, well, there was no point in going and sitting in an emergency room at the hospital because they're not gonna be able to do anything. They're gonna send you for x-rays. I already know it's broken. I don't even need the x-ray. Like, I'm aware. So I'm like, all right, well, I took some painkillers. I iced it, and I eventually went back to bed. And the next morning, I went to the doctors and they sent me for an x-ray. And sure enough, the results came back that it was in fact broken. And what it was on the x-ray was on the right side, which is surprising because he was on my left. It cracked like a straight line. Like in the x-ray, it was like just this side went like it was a clean break. A clean break. So out of all breaks, I really did get lucky with the clean break. That day, when I went to get an x-ray, I was in university and I was in a dance class. I used to dance competitively, and I was actually the TA, which is teacher's assistant of that dance class. And I had to like do this performance that day because the TA also had to do like an end of the year performance and stuff. And I had a broken nose. My dumbass went to dance class that day. I just stayed, even though I was like the teacher's assistant, I just like stayed in the back. And I remember I was doing ballet that day and I was just like doing like the most minimalistic things because I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like the last thing I needed was me trying to do a fucking pirouette and falling or hitting someone and then really, you know, having my nose go all wonky. So anyways, my boyfriend felt incredibly bad. I always made jokes because I'm like sassy like that. And I kept saying like, you broke my nose. He bought me flowers because he had to work the next day and he came home with flowers and being like, I'm so sorry. Even though it really wasn't his fault. We were equally like lifting in that moment. Like he didn't do it on purpose. I didn't like sit up on purpose either. So anyways, it was his head that broke my nose, but I really don't fully blame him. And that is the story of how I broke my nose. I forget the healing process, to be honest. Like it took weeks for it to like fully go. Like honestly, after a few days, the pain was fine. I didn't like feel it all that much. I just iced. I took painkillers when it was bad, and you know. And yeah, that is the story of how I broke my nose. I am lucky that it healed rather fine. I don't have any post effects from it that I can feel. Like I know some people when they break their nose, you know, like it affects everything, right? Some people can get deviated septums, things like that. It never affected anything, like from what I know, because the break was so clean in the x-ray. The doctor actually said like that was one of the cleanest breaks they had seen. Like she saw it and she was like, you are so lucky. Like the angle that you guys collided was just, if you were ever gonna have that happen to you, you would want the way it happened to me because it was a best case scenario out of the worst case scenario. So I felt very lucky. Once it healed, I've never had issues with it since. I remember my nose getting hit down the road in life and it sent like this shooting pain, like a shooting throbbing pain to that spot, like the right side of my nose. But other than that, I haven't noticed anything. So that is the time that I broke my nose. Let me know if you guys have ever broken your nose or even just any bones of your body and tell me how it happened, you know? Like maybe not too gruesome so my video doesn't get flagged on YouTube, but yeah, I'm going to finish my makeup and I will see you guys in another video tomorrow and also another Sunday for another story. Let me know what story you guys want. If you can think of an idea, maybe I have a story about it. There's a child coming down the hallway, so I'm going. Goodbye.